maybe your character might say
Got it.
that aligns with the game rule. Alright?
Got it.
Perfect. So, whenever you guys are ready, and start.
Alright, I know we just got here in our truck, but how do you think the fire started? Like, what the heck is going on at this shop?
Brooms were found near the fire.
Could it have been explosives?
Uh-oh.
It's okay, take your time.
I can come up with anything.
You got this.
It was definitely the donuts.
It could also have been dynamite.
No.
Alright. Even though we don't quite know what's going on here, we still have to put out the fire.
For what it's worth, the fire is the most important thing, I would say.
Going in to investigate might still be difficult. The fire might still be a little hot.
Excuse me, one second. Can you get into Avatar media player?
If you want to be skipped over, feel free. A good tip is to recite the alphabet in your head constantly.
H. How will we go about entering? I can go start getting the water?
I can help.
Just in case it's still hot, everyone put on their fire equipment. We don't want anyone getting hurt.
Okay, I can do that.
Let's all make a plan to make sure that the fire doesn't spread anywhere beyond this magical shop.
Maybe we're talking about this too much, and getting into the fire might be more important.
No problem, I will... Sorry, go ahead, go ahead.
You're in. Don't skip him over, please.
Not to be that guy, but I definitely think she's right.
Okay, let's get in there then. I'll start bringing the hoses to the fire. Let's hope that there's nothing bad in there.
Please help! The hose is over my neck. I can't breathe.
Quickly, time is of the essence.
So let's make sure we get that hose quickly.
S? Is it S or
R.
R?
Oh.
Right, let me get this hose off of you.
Stop! You're killing me!
Take your time. We don't want anyone getting hurt.
You.
You need to try grabbing the hose from the inside and pulling it apart.
Very well. I'll start ripping the hose apart. Hopefully this is not going to hurt you.
I think X-rays might be important for you after this, after we take care of the fire.
You're going to live, I promise!
Zoinks!
Let's get...
That was beautiful. Oh, great.
Serious moment in Zoinks.
That was awesome.
The best part was like the kid play saying, "Wah."
Now you
That
whippersnappers
why?
get off the
That
stage.
was a why.
Okay. That was my
I have
favorite part.
never heard anybody end it with zoinks. It's always zebra or somebody does xylophone when it's X. Like, my God, I haven't heard zoinks ever. That was amazing.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Did you can?
Thank you.
I'd have to skip over some games due to time restraints, but I will try to get 1 or 2 more games out in here. So that was a wonderful example well, that was an example of the storytelling having a beginning, middle, and end. At first, they got there, they're like, "Man, I wonder what caused the fire." And after realizing that there was an actual fire, they're like, "We should go stop this." And eventually, in the end, somebody started choking, and well, Scooby-Doo. That's pretty good. You guys did it absolutely wonderful, by the way. That exactly. So for the next part, I wanted to discuss stuff on characters versus players themselves. So, like a major part that was mentioned in the first part of our pack, or unveiling the curtains at a stage. We are acting, we are pretending. So that for one goes for, don't bring in, don't get angry at things that happen in character if, there's no reason to be angry out of character. It's, that's what we call a character bleed. You don't want to do that. That's getting angry at something that happened in your D&D game. Like, we're playing make-believe. We're playing a game. But it also applies to, don't, if you're playing a character, don't just be yourself. I mean, if you're playing as a self-insert, of course, in roleplay, then, do whatever. Do that. React how you would react to whatever the hell you're seeing. The main point of it is to be something that isn't you, and, run with it, roll with it. Man, I can't read. One major part you should do is, that I have seen a lot, is, VRChat, we have usernames, they're all above your head right now. Don't call people by their usernames when they're in roleplay, or when we're doing improv. That's sort of bad etiquette. That's not their actual name. That breaks immersion. Maybe I could just come up with another player's name on the spot, and they gotta roll with it, or they come up with their name. So try to not break immersion. That's basically that whole point. So in the story, let your character be changed and formed by the scene or the role play that it is happening to them, not just your personality. That's part of the story. Characters change, they alter. In roleplay, it's a lot more freeform. It'll usually take you a lot longer for your character. For your character to change, for their opinions to change, their views, how they might fight, how they might do this, do that. But in the end, let yourself and let your character be molded by the world around them. That's what makes a story. So, in terms of RP, if you want to create a character, that's sort of, you're having trouble, maybe try, like we said before, maybe try a self-insert, something that's just in your comfort zone that you can do, and just react accordingly, like if you were actually there, like that this was real, like, I was coming into the casino, and then I look at Sashi, and I'm like, what the fuck are those horns in your head, Or, nice cosplay, dude. I suppose maybe one piece of advice I can give for creating a character is try not to go against a trope or a cliche you see. Something that might create something unique, or hell, even go with a trope. Be the edgy rogue. Feel free, go ahead and learn new stuff if you want, and create new stuff for your character or for your role play or whatever you'd like. But go off what I think a safe bet, especially if you're starting, is to go off what you know. For me, a lot of my characters' spells, mechanics, and how I even run missions is based off of D&D. So this character's literally just a D&D character. There I said it. That's literally it. But of course, I've taken that and I've evolved it. I've made it restricted to those same rule sets. So, use what you know, but maybe later on try to expand your horizons. Don't just keep yourself restricted to one thing. You might just get bored of it. And of course, most importantly, like I said before, commit to your character. It's your character. Do exactly what they want. Do what they would do. As long as it's fun for the role play and fun for everybody else. Let me see. I'm gonna skip over this game, and I'm gonna go to the next section, and then give you guys another game from this section. So, one major part of more of the improv, but also roleplay, is the concept of yes and. What I mean by this with everything, it's like how one of the people earlier here mentioned in a question how they found somebody in the public lobby and they just go on and have an in-character conversation and just went along with it. That's the whole point. Go along with what's happening. And agree with the situation that it is presented to you. Of course, in roleplay, it might be a little bit different. You may be able to sort of deny what's happening, of course, still playing along. Like, I'm not going to deal with this today. I'm just going to go back to the bar and drink heavily or something. But the point is, things are always happening and occurring, and you should be at least aware that, like, hey, this is happening, I am acknowledging this, okay. Comedy and improv, you want to be more direct with it, but in roleplay, you just sort of want to, I want to bring in another game. This game is called Flip. I love this game because it is so stupid and it represents the concept of the yes and perfectly. In Flip, I will give the players a scene, 2 scenes actually. Whenever I, on the stage, say flip, the last thing that was said now applies to the scene that we have flipped to. You will see in more action, and you will get it throughout the game. But if I gave you prompt 1, and you start on prompt 1, and you ended by saying, I'm gonna go buy groceries, and then we go to prompt 2, you have to apply prompt 2 to that situation somehow. Hopefully everybody understands. You will see a better example of it, and you can go along with it as you go on the stage. Now, could I please, with a cherry on top, get some people on who are players? I'm going to try to prioritize them. So we have Badger, we have, I don't know, Schlatt, Bullcap, Wills, Zulet Attack. Yeah, that's about enough. Yoshino, actually. Can we get you off stage for now? Because I want to include some of the new people. Thank you very much. Okay, so this is a scene where you're not just looking at the audience the whole time. You can sort of be in the middle and congregate with each other and talk with each other. So, let's try to get you guys more towards the middle of the stage. Maybe in a more natural position. Just sort of talking around in a group. Yeah, Badger just got it. So, you guys will have 2 prompts. Try to remember them. If not, just look at me and say, what's the prompt again, and I will reiterate it for you. But, try to remember this. Your first prompt that you will be starting with is that you're all rich socialites, very rich people, you know, pompous maybe, who are all talking about their recent very extravagant purchases. Your second prompt is that you're all hobos who are hallucinating from turpentine moonshine. Would you like to repeat? Do you have any questions before we start? Okay. Let's extravagant purchases. And the other prompt, when I say flip, which you will switch to, you are all hobos who are hallucinating from turpentine flavored moonshine. Got it? Do we have any questions? Got it.
Good.
Okay. Perfect. Feel free to start and go ahead.
I say, did you guys love the new mansion we purchased, right? It's quite exquisite.
Yes, very I might say myself.
Pairs very well with our
very big and I
bought last week.
It's a bit shabby. Is that limestone? It's a bit last season, don't you think?
Right, we should replace
I think
that with
Obama will
marble.
like it.
Look.
I think Obama
That's
will
true,
like
that's
it.
true.
Is the president coming?
What do you think we should
No, I
For
bought
him.
them.
Oh,
No, I bought the man entirely.
where is he?
Do you really want to know?
Flip on, do you really want to know?
Do you really want to know what's in this?
What's in there?
Some good moonshine, bro.
I got some myself too. Cheers.
What's going on here? Who are you? I don't know how he is.
Who are you?
Who are you? I need sunshine.
Flip on, who am I?
You are you, my good sir.
Aren't you Obama?
Maybe?
Are we rich?
Of course
I
we
think
are.
I might
These
be
are
drinking. Hold on 1 second. Can I try something?
Why did you hit me?
Okay, so I'm
This
not
is
really
like $1 million on it. Let's
Flip on, why did you hit me?
I was trying to hit you. I hit you because you stole, like, most of my moonshine.
It was really good. Oh shit.
Control your moonshine, man.
The fuck?
Hello. I am here doing outreach
For what?
Huh?
Oh my
for
I'm
homeless.
looking at Obama. I've never thought that he was white.
You clearly didn't look close enough.
Let's flip on you clearly didn't look close enough.
I mean, clearly, like the drapes and like the carpet, like nothing matches here. You clearly didn't look close at the colors.
Sorry, my good man, but I wasted all of my money on
I hire other people to shop for me.
And
So
I spent mine all on golden teacups.
They do match the drapes.
Yes,
Very good.
I have something to tell you guys. I bought a $19 monkey statue with huge balls.
Okay, I'm gonna do scene.
We're not whole.
Wow. Nice.
Wow, monkey balls.
Monkey balls killed it.
Darn monkey
Yeah,
balls.
like you whippersnappers.
Get down.
Yeah.
Sound effects, let's go!
Wow!
Man, that was really loud. Holy crap.
Shit.
Was it from here?
Monkey balls ended it all. Oh dear.
That was absolutely wonderful, guys. Thank you very much. So, for our next part, I want to focus on teamwork and sort of setting up stuff. So, it will depend on the roleplay. In improv, it's how it is. You are a team. It's not your personal highlight reel. In roleplay, it's a bit different. You're still a team in a way. Sort of, you are role-playing your character, and you are giving them up for however they will interact with each other. Now, in terms of personal highlight reel, of course there's going to be cool moments for your character, and other people's characters, and you and others should prioritize or help each other out by creating cool role-play moments or ideas by talking, organizing, and on-the-fly thinking. This part is purely for comedy improv. Is the concept of the straight man, not literally a heterosexual male, eating glue. You know, they're there to help set people up for the punchline. At least this is just for comedy improv. This might apply to roleplay still if you want to continue and do comedy style roleplay. But this is mainly for the stuff that's improvisational on the stage. Your goal in comedy improv is to make your teammates look funny. You don't have to be the funny one. Teammates, your fellow role players, and your fellow characters look cool or highlight whatever they want to be highlighted. You know, you don't have to be whatever star of the situation that's going on. You're all working together to highlight one another. And one thing that's really important, especially when you start doing more and more role play, is that you're going to want to get out of your comfort zone and do things with your body. You could do this more with body language, maybe. Maybe you're used to playing a self-insert, and maybe when you play a new character, if they get scared, I don't know, they'll go hug somebody because they're incredibly afraid. Like, hold me, you know. There's so many different ways to just get used to doing something different that you're not used to. Maybe being the straight man in the scene. Try doing that. Or maybe you're not used to being a very intelligent character in a scene, or even in roleplay, Maybe try that. See how it goes. It might be fun. Our next section is etiquette. So this one's a little bit iffy on the roleplay part, because a lot of it does still apply. So, Ribbon or Shuggy, or Sachi if he wasn't a ghost, if you guys want to, butt in and say anything on each other's toes. There's a lot of the times where, I've seen people, do RP where it completely destroys the value or concept of their character, or people constantly talking over each other, not letting others speak or do something involving a scene or a situation. Give people the opportunity, or in role play as well, you're allowed to step back and see how the other characters are reacting to each other instead of just you constantly reacting to them. And to see if it goes out of character, you're allowed to take a break. There's a lot of roleplay that does go on consistently, happening. Like, don't be like some of my friends who like roleplay 7 days a week.
Don't burn
So,
yourself out before you even start.
You're gonna have to take a break that lasts too long. And one major part that if anyone here who has played VRChat for more than like three minutes understands, we're doing this all over the internet. Tracking constant points of tracking on our fingers, our hands, our that might take a few seconds for your message to reach somebody and for their message to reach you. And in roleplay, and realize that in roleplay as well, people are gonna crash, or people are gonna break their GPUs because of a really unoptimized map or something. Just know that we play an imperfect game, very imperfect. So we're going to see issues that pop up constantly, like crashing or optimization, and things like that occurring. So try to be open and prepare for that to happen if you can. Plays with their characters, it's time to chime in, a chance to be involved. If I'm just talking with somebody, maybe they have a great point on something we're talking about. Why not bring them in? Or maybe in a more combative scene, if they're on a quest, like maybe two people or hasn't done it before, or wants to show off how they do it. Give everybody a chance to do their stuff and let everybody have their own fun. But keep in mind that you also want to have fun. Everyone else wants to have fun. Work together. Don't bicker at each other for no reason. Out of character. Here are the audience, like,
Original winner.
Winner. Winner. So, the audience or whoever is watching comedy improv at least is the winner, and as long as they laugh or are entertained, or in role play, as long as your other role players is us all having fun and making a cool story out of it. My brain just died.
Mine died a long time ago.
So, like I said before, make them look funny, in comedy improv or in an RPG, trying to make like a fun and engaging or interesting story or thing to do. Even if it is a little bit corny. I am running out a little bit of time, so I'm going to try to finish this last part and get maybe 1 or 2 more games out of there. So, the last part is on improvisation itself. This is really just practice. I'm going to be fully honest. It's just you getting better, your brain coming up with things that are maybe a little better than just like, or hey, this might be funny, or in role play, hey, maybe I shouldn't do this. This doesn't really provide too much of an opportunity for people to do stuff. Or, maybe let me try a different character, a different thing for my character, etc., etc. I can tell you some more specific things, like, try. I pick up the box. The box is gold-plated with a lock as big as my foot. Maybe try to show it, even if it is invisible. Invisible, as they say. So maybe try to knock on it. Makes a knocking sound. Maybe there's other stuff, other aspects other than it being described that might help, describe it. Bonk, my friends with, I'm watching you. But, we're using the VRChat. Maybe try to use some of the tools that we have at hand with the SDK and the engine to, further not only maybe our comedy improv, but most importantly our role play. That's the main part of when Sachi was saying stuff like, that can add a lot to a character. That can add a lot to its emotion, to pretty much any aspect of the character just sort of occurring, how they look, how they might act, or how they might react to a situation, even just small things like that. And in comedy improv, you're going to be developing things on the spot, maybe the scene, the Sachi did, or like Pug did, and many other role players. You could just come in and, do things on the spot, like, hey, maybe this would align with the idea I have for the character. That'd be a cool story he could tell, or that would be something interesting to talk about, or maybe or that would be an interesting reason as to why he does things, etc., etc., etc. And most important stuff, in character, out of character, of course, but embrace it, learn from it, like, hey, maybe on this mission or this thing, I did this thing wrong as my character. Maybe he's gonna learn from that and not do that next time. Or even just like, hey, I did something that didn't really, provide too much. I did the horizon of it, let people have more fun and a bit more freedom, etc., etc., etc. The way to get better at doing this is just fail, do bad, and eventually you're going to sort of recognize maybe what are the bad things in character and out of character and how to improve on them. That is actually the end of all of this, and I love this prompt. Phrases is a game where there's 3 players. One is a player that can say anything they want, according to the character, and speak freely. The other 2 are people I have given 2 phrases to, who will only be able to say those during the scene. Can I get some people up on the stage for phrase?
Let's go.
Oh my god.
We got Privateer, we got Ebola.
I know, right?
Also, good to see you, Ebola. It's been like over a year, probably.
Where's the third person?
Right? But, right. I think this is actually good. So let's get Privateer, Bob, Zob, and Ebola.
Yeah, I'm here watching.
Right there. We have Privateer, Zob, and you. So let's get in front of the line in a little bit. So your guys' prompt is that one of you is the buffoons, idiots, not really know what to do, lazy, etc., etc., etc. Who here wants to be the commanding officer?
Him obviously needs to be it. Okay, him.
All right. So yes, you will. So just stand right here in the center of the stage, and you 2 stand right next to him. So, Ebola, stand right next to him right here, and then Privateer right next to him right here.
Gato amigo!
To navigate where to go?
Yeah, you're trying to navigate to where to go. You just decide where you might want to go, or, keep that ambiguous, and these 2 are your, completely incompetent officers. So, I'm going to start with Ebola, because you already had a phrase in mind. Say that phrase again that you said earlier. That might be good. Not that,
Did I say anything? I remember what I said. I'm stupid.
He did. Privateer mentioned it. Do you remember what he said? Because I don't remember what he said.
Who am I?
Yeah. Okay, your 2 phrases that you can only say these 2 things in the scene. However you like, you can only say these words. You can only say, who am I?
What do I have to say again?
I'm Okay. What are your 2 lines?
What?
Okay, your 2 lines are, who am I? And I'm
I think he might. I can't tell whether he's in character or guessing around.
Who am I and how
am I?
Yes, repeat it.
Oh my god.
You know what? That'll work.
Did he just win?
So, probably
Yes.
Yes.
your 2 lines are, what am I supposed to do? And does this look
What am I
right?
supposed to do? Does this look right? Okay.
Okay, perfect. What's your lines?
And is this right?
Yeah, there you go. Okay, so it's gonna be relatively short, maybe about a minute, but I want you all to go in 3, 2, 1.
We're going ahead. We're going through Jamaica. We just need a good old vacation. Alright, you're in the radar. What's it like?
Who am I?
What's...
Alright.
Alright, do we have weapons? There are torpedoes in it. No! We have a torpedo! Alright.
Am I helping?
Just look. Alright, you look at the
supposed to do.
I don't
and
know.
just
You're
look right.
someone.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
don't know. Ask my wife.
What is this supposed to do?
Alright, a fire torpedo. Do not press it. There's no one in here. There might be acoustic. Will you stop hitting me? You really have
I
one
hate
job.
the scene right here, and I wish I could continue, but we have about a minute left. So
Perfect. Beautiful. Yes.
I love that. That was fucking amazing.
You did your best with what you were given. You played the cards you were dealt, and that was good.
That's perfect.
I want to end off by first of all thanking VRCon for allowing me to host this panel. So to all the VRCon people watching as well as the ones here, thank you very much for allowing me the opportunity to do this. And most importantly, I also want to thank Sachi, Shugi, and the Purple Lotus for helping me and also allowing me to with their panel and do everything I've wanted to do on stage here. I also wanted to thank, most importantly, with all the improv knowledge, the Legacy Improv team. They have a booth at the festival. Feel free to go attend it. Super great. On the 11th at 6 p.m. EST, and then they have an actual show on the 12th at 9 p.m. EST. Thank you all for attending. I hope to see you all in the roleplay or sometime soon in the metaverse.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, that is the end of our panel. Thank you all so much for coming out to this year's 2021 VRCon. And thank you for attending our events. I hope you'll have a lovely rest of your VRCon experience. And until next time,
Thank you. We'll be hosting a VRCon roleplay event at 4 EST PM. If you want to come by, and enjoy the show or be part, at least a part of a roleplay on how things go and Purple Lotus.
Can you see more details on VRCon online? To the after party.
Yay!
Bringing
After party!
Yeah, I just got
to
to bring the moonshine and the monkey.
Yeah, about the after party, what's going on with that? Like, how's that work?
If you go to VRCon online, it should tell you the host for it. You just have to request it off of them, I believe.
Yeah, because I've been doing that for like the past half an hour. Yeah, I've been doing that for the last half an hour. It doesn't say anything.
Hosted by VRCon if you're the one playing into the lineup.
I'm gonna switch back my avatar and
Maps might actually have like a virtual concert thing. You
damn it.
probably be best to ask this one if you have any questions.
One of my hands don't work.
Person behind VRCon 1.
There is no person.
AI, could you please answer this beautiful person's question?
No, thank you. It's a compliment. But yeah, we're all wondering, what about the after party? Like we've been on the website, trying to get in, and it just hasn't said who asked to come.
Oh, no, VRCon 3. VRCon 3. I'm sorry, I lied.
Right?
Why are you lying, Darby?
They won't let me in. VRCon 3 will not let me in, and I'm gonna cry.
I mean, seems like my sister VRCon 3 is up and running. You should request of that.
There's no. Damn it. Yo, bro, if somebody can get in, can I add you and then you just hit me up with an invite?
Right?
I'm going on the page beyond VRCon.
I'd like to know why my hands don't work.
I wanted to thank you so much for all of your help for the panel. We really appreciate it, and especially for all the help that you guys have done with their booth. I wanted to say thank you so much on behalf of the Purple Lotus staff and our company and
The VRCon bot specifically that has it.
I think it's either one or two.
Hello, you did great.
Apparently it's
Yeah.
VRCon
And one's
free,
here right now,
actually.
sir.
Wow.
You did great.
They said VRCon free.
Howdy. Thank you very much. I will say, make sure to thank the other people here who were helping me, like Ribbon, Sachi, Shuggy, and sadly Pug's gone. But you know, thank them too. They did a lot.
You guys did great. Like that was honestly a really fun thing to watch, especially the last bit of improv.
I did not manage my time well enough. I should have gone a little faster so we have more time for phrase. Phrase is one of my favorites because of that. It is so stupid and nonsensical.
It's fine, Joel. We'll just have it. We'll have some in character at Purple Lotus.
Dude, I gotta do that again! Oh my god!
We'll have it in character at Purple Lotus. It'll be great.
Fuck it, I'll do Saturday.
It's even better because it's in character and a person.
Yeah, that one's complicated. That's a study all in itself. But yeah, fuck it, I'll do it Saturday. I'll write a short one up and do like a 30-minute or 1 hour one at PL. That was so much fun. I haven't done an improv show in a while.
That was fucking hilarious.
I'm gonna change back.
Heck yeah.
I'm so tiny in this. I don't feel like.
Oh, that was so
What was
fun.
the games that you skipped?
I fell off.
So I had a couple others prepared. So I had. So I did phrase, of course. I was going to have scenes from a hat originally, but I decided against it because it's a little too freeform. I want to be safe with the audience, and it usually takes too long occasionally. I had that is the wrong document. I had let's see. Hey, you down there? Which is a game where two people are silent body actors, so preferably full body, and the one person is like an omnipotent like voice in a PSA. So like the prompt for that one was going to be the dangers of breaking your spaghetti noodles in half before cooking them. So just stupid crap like that. Or like I had questions only, which is you can only speak in questions. And I was gonna do prompt interviewing to be the new guy in Blues.
That was so fun. That was so good.
Let's go relay. Let's see who.
Well, I gotta go and fucking open up fucking.
The Lotus?
Yeah, 30 minutes.